everyone, problems on the horizon for the EuroAmerican Cup. The EuroAmericana it was announced yesterday, of course. Many saw that there was a huge announcement by UEFA and CONMEBOL in terms of the ties that they're looking to further fortify, and in terms of different projects, the office in London, everything else that has really emerged in the past couple of, less than 24 hours, I guess. One little tiny detail here in terms of the game is concerned. Everything else, all fine, all good. They can do that. They forgot to tell FIFA. Yeah, you heard me right. They forgot to tell FIFA. Now, forgot, I use it kind of loosely. Maybe they just didn't tell them, period. But the big issue is here. That's where the little caveat lies, right? Not telling the entity that is in charge of scheduling World Cup qualifiers, hey, by the way, we're going to have a special match during your window with our national teams to do something totally different that has nothing to do with you. Okay? I hope I haven't lost anyone by this point, okay? There are a lot of details that were not mentioned in that statement that end up emerging now. And again, I've been talking to people, and some sources have told me, look, by the way, the Argentine Federation has that time blocked off to be able to play. Remember that match that they played, or at least played 5 minutes of, against Brazil? Well, that was when they were looking to try and reschedule it for. CONMEBOL did not consult with AFA. CONMEBOL did not consult. I've heard versions that they haven't consulted with the CBF. I've heard that they have. So that part I truly can't confirm. What I can confirm is that they have not contacted AFA. They have not contacted the Argentine FA. Bit complicated there, especially with World Cup qualifiers and the windows being so tight, everything being so close, and that match. Look, it might mean something. It might not mean something. It might mean that by that point, Brazil and Argentina already qualify for the World Cup. So it really doesn't mean as much as one would want to try and make it sound, because obviously, to make it sound spectacular, it is going to be something of note. Argentina and Brazil most likely will be qualified by the month of June. So if something is worked out or something's not worked out, maybe you could have second teams play that, play the qualifier. Not a problem, not an issue. Or Argentina could have that qualifier played and whatever. I don't know. I don't think that it'll get to that point, because obviously there's a sense of pride that is instilled in being able to play it. But of course, we have to see where priorities lie. Maybe they'll have one call-up for that game, another call-up for the Italy game. I don't know, but it would end up being a mess. It would end up being very complicated, and it would end up being something that people would, kind of, or teams especially, hey, wait a second, why are you going to something like this if it really doesn't matter? We're already 5 months away from the World Cup, and you're already playing around with our schedule within UEFA, within CONMEBOL, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So again, a bit of a caveat there, but again, this is all when you start to, and it's been something that CONMEBOL has done. It's something that football in general has done, and it drives me nuts when you start looking and delving into things and the details that they just gloss over. Case in point, the Super League, when it first came out, and all of a sudden, oh, by the way, this, and that don't work. That's a problem. Football, in its haste to announce things, in its haste to make things so complicated, or less complicated, I should say, but less complicated for the people running the game, not for the players. Of course, there's more games for the players. There's more things. Of course, I don't want to delve off on that, but you kind of get the point. That's the problem. That's the issue that's facing right now. How is that going to be played if you also have FIFA that hasn't approved it, if you have AFA that might not want to call up 50 players for a World Cup qualifying match that maybe is settled, maybe not, who knows, You don't know what they're playing for especially. I mean, many things can happen, and Argentina goes into a rut, and they're, fighting for their World Cup lives or to avoid a playoff. It could still happen. It's still very feasible. Improbable, probably, but it's still feasible as of right now. Now, when June rolls around, what's going to happen? That's the issue. But, of course, we'll get to that particular bridge at that point. The issue here is that the entity that's in charge of organizing and doing the logistics for World Cup qualifying wasn't kept into it. It wasn't really talked to, wasn't even consulted about the issue. So again, you start to see the rift between FIFA and UEFA. And of course now CONMEBOL getting in and being an ally of UEFA in this one. So you start to see where the powers that be start to move around. So it's more of a power move than anything else at the end of the day. That's where you start to see where everyone's bread's buttered, if you want to put it from at that perspective. It's something that really has become a battle. A battle, hey, no, this is how I want it. No, this is how I want it. No, this is how it's going to be. No, this is how we are going to make it happen. So again, it's the confederations against FIFA, or at least two confederations against FIFA. It's also the clubs against FIFA. So we're starting to see a lot of rebellion. And of course, you start to peel the skins of that onion and you start to see a little bit more of what really this is about. And it starts becoming more about who is going to maintain their supremacy, who's going to maintain their power within this football structure. So we see that football's heading again down that very slippery slope. Where it's going to be, I really can't tell you, to be quite honest with you. It could be tremendous for the game. It could be a death knell for the game, and it could be anything in between. So we will see what ends up playing out. We will end up seeing how things evolve in this story, which is starting to become very interesting.